What's going on, guys? Energy News Beat, episode number 166 here on this gorgeous Tuesday, November 24th, 2020. As always, I am your humble correspondent, Michael Tanner, joined by the executive producer of the show, the purveyor of the show, director and publisher of the world's greatest website, oilandgas360.com, and international man of mystery, Stuart Turley. How you doing today?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I'm about ready for some turkey.
No, we are getting very close to that Turkey Day, but we've got a lot of stuff to cover, as you can see in the rundown here. Stu's got a bunch of stuff in the international news desk. CNX does a $500 million offering. High Point, you can get back and trade them while you still can. Barry gets sued. Very interesting. We'll cover everything on the equities markets. But first, guys, just subscribe to this YouTube channel, Oil and Gas 360 and comment the best place and way to stay updated on all of your energy market news. Hit that pesky subscribe button so you'll never miss a show. As we turn to the equities markets, guys, pop the champagne, or in our case, crack a beer. Dow at all-time highs today, 30,000. All-time highs, never tasted so good. In the midst of rising COVID-19 cases, we're over 160,000 per day. Guess what, guys? We're seeing a 5% increase all around. It's not this week to go on top of SPY up 1.6 percentage points. Nasdaq was up 1.4 percentage points. Dow Jones was up 1.5%. And as I mentioned, three real key triggers of that. One, bullish vaccine news. AstraZeneca now comes out 70% of effective over the 50 that they came out with yesterday. Also, Trump yesterday tweeted out that there's some transfer of power stuff going on. To be honest, I don't know what all this means. Point is, the street is reacting to those tweets as if in a good way, thinking, the transfer of power is going to go easy. So those are two big news that rise equities markets on the oil side. I mean, holy smokes. We saw $45 oil, Stu. We're cracking a beer for all-time highs. Here's another one for $45 oil.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've seen that. Currently trading 44.92 for that front month, up 4.3 percentage points. Couple reasons for that. One, COVID-19 vaccine, as we mentioned. Now with 3 vaccines out there, market really thinks people are going to get going back. Stu's going to cover 2 explosions that have happened. One explosion and one probable with terrorism, but you can't say that nowadays. He'll cover that on the international side. Really have crude oil markets in the short term up big, as we mentioned, 44.91, about 4.3 percentage points. Back into the curve, 45.06, about 2.8 percentage points. Natural gas markets up about 1.8 percentage points, $2.76 for that front month. Really off the back of a little warmer weather coming, or some colder weather that it's expected to come in December. We actually got a little snow overnight here in Colorado. So if you look at some of those Midwest crack prices, you can see them dive a little bit. Back into the curve up a little bit, though, about 1.4 percentage points, $2.88. Another swig, 5 percentage points for the XOP. If you're an energy equities trader, this one has been for you recently, because you guys have been absolutely killing it. 59.58 as the market set to close here in about 3 minutes. Who knows? Maybe we'll see $60. Probably see that tomorrow, depending on how some of this vaccine news come out. 152.67. That's 5.3 percentage points for OIH. So yeah, energy equities have been on a train. Still some bad numbers, though. PBF Energy down 2 percentage points. Prime Energy down 3 percentage points. Flex LNG down 3 percentage points. High Point Resources, great. They're back on the market, but they're still dying. Down 11 percentage points. On the upside, good numbers here, guys. U.S. Energy Corp up 18 percentage points. Mexico Energy Corporation, 20 percentage points. America Resources Corporation, 22 percentage points on the upside. Houston America Energy Corporation, man, God bless Texas, up 25 percentage points. Amplify Resources up 24 percentage points. Camber Energy Inc., they're up 48 percentage points to $1.18. So I mean, we're seeing some pretty massive rises in these equities. We had a little interesting, I wouldn't call it an argument, but we were talking this morning on our call, Director of Consulting over at Intercom Consulting, Dan Jennings. We were talking about some of this, how to look forward on some of this pricing. He's taken the bear market, and we're actually going to try to see if we can get him on maybe next Monday, because I think he lays out a really interesting case for, oil, as we've, the bulls are back in town, as we like to say. The bulls are back in town. The bulls are back in town. He is the other way around. He's actually really more that bear side. So hopefully we can get him on the show next week and dive into all things that. Before we dive into the international news deck, guys, I need to tell you about our friends at Data Gumbo who power this show. Guys, Data Gumbo is an award-winning technology with customers all around the world who build, manage, and automate their own smart contracts. Data Gumbo smart contracts offer a new approach to commercial commercial relationship, one that reduces transactional or increases transactional certainty, delivers streamlined operations, cost saving. Every transaction is certain, touchless, and automated and powered via GumboNet. Don't get yourself a big bowl of data gumbo at www.datagumbo.com. Stu, couple explosions, maybe some terrorism. Holy smokes, it's been wild on your side today.
I'll tell you what, I don't even know where to start with your imitation of Prince and that Dr. Pepper commercial. Holy smokes. Woo! Wow. Okay, Saudi Aramco, they had some missile strikes yesterday, and now they sit back and they say that they haven't even got a scratch. It hit a 500,000 barrel tank. So either they were using the way they describes this was almost pop bottle rockets. So I think the terrorists were very well unarmed, and the fire was put out in 30 minutes.
So what were they 500,000 barrel storage tank. So you're telling me there's 500,000 barrels that just spilled?
No.
Someone call the EPA. Where's PETA when we need them?
It didn't even scratch it, didn't dent it. I think they used a pellet gun. So, if you're going to be a terrorist, be a good one.
Yeah, at least have some weaponry to work with. My goodness.
Yeah, okay, here we are. We're at another one. Shell in Malaysia damages by explosions. This one's not good. They have the incident resulted to air pollution from the gas pipeline and crude leak. This one is an act of terrorism, and we will be keeping you posted on that. Our hearts and prayers go out to the folks. Nobody seems to be hurt right now, but we'll keep you posted. So, okay. Moving right along, we're now in London and Brussels. See our beautiful make love, not CO2. You got to love that one. And then this CO2 climate person is also saying, make the planet great again. You got to love it when you have a green protest going on. And there's some real nuggets in this article. And I just want to go through some of these.
Yeah, hit us with them.
The article is carbon pricing raises world's weapon of choice in climate fight. Okay. So when you take a look at this, it is China, Japan, South Korea have all followed the European Union, pledging to cut emissions in recent weeks by 2050 when you get abs, something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. I'm still working on those abs, by the way. There's been
my
best. The way I like to do it is take 5 steps backwards before I start.
Okay, well here's to your abs. Okay,
abs I'll never get.
Yeah, to the abs I'll never get. Wendy Hughes, Carbon Markets Innovation Manager at World Bank, says each country is going to have their own path. That's a moment of brilliance. Governments can force these payments through a carbon tax. A levy companies must pay when they pollute. Holy smokes, this is an avenue through green for all the governments to gain unvoted taxes around the world. So carbon taxes and pollution are a scam in order to get taxes to all these governments. So stay tuned.
I'll push back and say you're not saying pollution is a scam. Pollution happens. The question is, how do we deal with it? And I think carbon taxes, I think there are some other methods to deal with pollution. My big on is don't de-incentivize the action, incentivize another activity.
Thank you.
That's where I come from. Don't de-incentivize the bad action. Go ahead and incentivize a good action, and trust me, people will flock to that. That's the only thing goes. Anything else on the international side?
Yes, ET. Now, real quick, we just released Mark Mills today. Is there a hidden cost of green energy?
Yes.
This was a wonderful interview. He talked about, instead of just CO2, he said, I'm not CO2, I'm more about physics. And this was a fantastic interview with Mark. He is a fellow at the Manhattan Institute, and a very, very sharp article. He covers actually the physics behind green. So that's on the oil and gas news desk. Wanted to give a shout out to Mark.
Yeah, the physics of green. I never thought I'd be back in college, but I found myself producing the interview feeling like I was in a lecture hall. It was great. It's no wonder he actually teaches at Northwestern, and it makes total sense. He's a really eloquent, lays everything out. Highly recommend checking that out on the world's greatest website, www.oilandgas360.com. The U.S. shale side, theoretically, it should be slow this week. We've got a couple things to cover here. One, CNX Resources added. This morning, they announced 6.25 percentage points on senior notes. They're trying to raise $400 million later in the session here. We learned that was going to be $500 million, but a 6.25% senior note, $500 million offering due in 2029. And what they say is notes are going to be used for general corporate purposes, repaying existing indebtedness under their current revolving credit facility. The key is these are senior notes, so they're go ahead and backed by their RBL revolving credit facility. So you're a little safer in here there. Be interesting. CNX, as you remember, was a target to be acquired by EQT before they went ahead and went back to Chevron's Appalachian assets. So, this move seems to me that they're looking to, whether they're going to do some acquiring, they're looking to stay independent. I'll be interested to see if they feel like EQT has moved in another direction instead of purchasing them. I think if they were going to get purchased, why raise this money? Why raise this money now if you're going to get acquired in 4 days or in a month or in two? If you're going to attempt to continue at it yourself, maybe go out and pick somebody up. This is a good move. So that's partly what I'm seeing from this, but obviously we'll cover it as it rolls out. High Point Resources, as you can see, is back trading on the New York Stock Exchange. You can go ahead and pour all of your Robinhood money into that. Please don't, but you can. Something also interesting. This happens all the time, but I do love when it does happen to companies like Berry Petroleum. They're getting sued just because they thought they lied about their reserves on their IPO. I have to read you this. It just cracks me up. The lawsuit alleges that the defendants made false statements and failed to disclose. Get this. This is what they claim they lied about, which is it's not true. They didn't. Did they actually knowingly lie? No. Did they make some false assumptions that probably led to some bad stuff? Yeah. But here's what they claim they lied about. This would be a wild lie. Okay. Materially overstated its operational efficiency and stability. That it would foresee necessary operational improvements. But basically, I don't want to actually read this whole thing now that I'm just looking at it. Point is, guys, there's an IPO class action lawsuit. If you bought shares between July 26, 2018 and November 3rd, 2020, you can get in on this. Contact Joe Pettigrew. A little shout out to him. I just always find this funny when law firms do that. They're never successful because none of this is actually true. Did Barry straight up lie, knowingly lie? No. Very few companies knowingly lie about stuff. Do they do a very good job of selecting facts that make them look good? Well, yes, of course. Everybody does that. I do that when I'm trying to argue with Stu and make a point. I ignore things that aren't my opinion and look things that are my opinion. So this happens everywhere. And mostly bringing this up is you see a lot of these. Somebody sent me this story. I was like, oh, look what's happening to Barry. It's all the time. It's not going to go anywhere because do they actually mean to lie? No. Was their assumptions wrong about their reserves? Yes. That's the whole industry has a reserve problem. It's stuff we covered before, and we'll cover it here as we continue. Stu, we miss anything today?
Yeah. When I was growing up, if I just thought I was going to lie, I got my mouth washed out with soap. So maybe we need to go back to that with all these CEOs. If you lie, you get your mouth washed out with soap.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
I got my mouth washed out with soap plenty of times. That's why we can't lie on this show. So we are forced by training to tell the truth. So
great day.
No. And with that, guys, we're gonna go and get out of here and let you finish every day, get back to work. Thank you for checking out the Energy Newsbeat episode number 166. For Stuart Turley, I'm Michael Tanner. We will see you guys tomorrow. Special edition. We've got crude oil inventories and natural gas inventories on the same day. Stay tuned.
And turkey.
That's Thursday, but yeah.